Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm here with my guest, Stafford Rangers fan Jack Evans. Now Jack's been going to watch Stafford Rangers now since 2005-06. So Jack, what are your experiences watching Stafford Rangers?
Quite varied really. Like you say, first started going, I think this is my 16th season now. That first year we got promoted to the Conference Premier, which obviously step 5. And we were there for 2 years, and then kind of gradually just got worse and worse. So it's been interesting. I've seen like a lot of relegations and promotions and stuff. So yeah, it's probably not the most enjoyable teams to support in the world from the relegations and stuff, but I love it.
Yeah, that's great. And of course you've been watching them so many seasons now. Is there any particular atmosphere that stands out for you? Like a game that you've been to, you just got goosebumps from an atmosphere, like you're at like a proper game.
Like just like away fans as well, or
yeah, away fans as well, both sets of fans.
Well, I suppose when we were in the conference, there was probably the best atmospheres, but I was quite young then. I'd have been like 11 or 12 the 2 years we were in the conference, so I don't really remember them as well. I mean, the playoff final atmosphere in 5-6 when we got promoted to the Conference Premier against Droylsden. I've got like a little bit of memory of that. That was class. Obviously, I think there was about 3,000 there, and a lot of them were supporting Rangers, so that was quality. In recent years, like in terms of away fans, FC United are amazing. Like obviously they get a lot of fans when you're associated with Man United. You're going to get a lot of fans, aren't you? And
of course.
They like just non-stop sing all game, even if you're beating them. Like I've seen us beat them 2 or 3 times probably, and they literally don't stop singing. So fair play to them. But those two spring to mind.
Let's go. Speaking of away fans, what's the best away ground you've been to with Stafford Rangers, would you say?
Well, I've seen us play at like big grounds, but not like as an away ground. So a couple of years ago, we played at Stoke in the Staffordshire Senior Cup final, and we played at Vale and Walsall as well in similar competitions. But obviously that's not an actual away ground. That's like a neutral thing. Again, it would have been when we were in the conference. I remember when we were in the conference, I liked Woking's ground, which people would probably be surprised by. You probably wouldn't think of them as having an amazing ground, but I did like that. When we were in the conference, we played Brighton away, and unfortunately they weren't in the ground they're in now, because they were in
stadium.
What was it called?
So this one's called the Amex, the other one.
Yeah, was it the Withdean, I think?
Yes,
Withdean
the
Stadium.
Withdean,
it had the athletics track, and it was awful really. I don't know why I'm mentioning it on like best away grounds, it's terrible, but unfortunately they weren't in the Amex now, like they are now. Wokin's the one that springs to mind, but there'd have been a lot of Football League clubs, like clubs that are in the Football League now, when we were in the conference.
Yeah, and also, of course, you've seen many players, I imagine, over the last 15 years or so. Is there a best Stafford Rangers player for you springs to mind?
I mean, we've had a lot of players on loan that have gone on to be like very good. I mean, again, I was quite young when he played for Rangers, but Chris Basham, who's obviously at Sheffield United now, and I think he got like the Player of the Year or something this year in the Premier League. He played for us when he must have been about 19, 18 or something. We got him on loan from Bolton. And like I say, I wasn't, like when you're like 10, 11, you don't notice things as much. But everyone said he was class. In recent years, there's 2 players in League 2 that are playing regularly now that were with us. We had Josh Gordon, who's at Walsall. He played for us. He was our player for a bit, and then he went to Leicester under 23s from Rangers, and I think he was Walsall's Player of the Year last year. So he was good. The player that's probably stood out the most for me in a Rangers team was Nathan Smith, who's now at Port Vale. I think he might be their captain or something, but he's recently signed a new contract. He was rumoured to be going to Stoke, I think, but he signed a new contract. He was. I mean, when he played for us, we were the league below where we are now. So we were in step 4 of non-league. So it was quite low. Like he
Yeah,
definitely shouldn't have been playing for us in that league. He was way
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah.
But I just remember when he was in our defence in that league, he was just unbelievable. Like you could just tell
He was going to be
he's
good. Yeah.
way better than this.
Yeah.
Like I think he must have played about 30 games for us that season.
Yeah.
I think he got skinned like once or something. It was ridiculous. Like it just like it was so easy for him.
Yeah. One question I was going to ask, a little bit of a weird one. Did you ever see JB Vardy play against Stafford Rangers?
No, I don't actually know if we ever played against him because when he was at Stocksbridge, I don't think we would have been at their level at that time. And then when he was at Halifax, I could be wrong here, but I think when they came up from the league Rangers are in now, we went down into the league we're in now, so we never actually played Halifax.
Okay.
And then obviously when he went to Fleetwood as well, they were also above us.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong, but I don't think Vardy ever played against Rangers.
So I was going to ask who the best player is you've ever seen us Stafford Rangers play against. So I was thinking Vardy would probably be your answer, but if you haven't seen him, then is there anyone who's gone on to be a good level since you've seen play against Rangers?
I mean, there's probably quite a few. I mean, I remember not that long ago, like I mentioned Josh Gordon there, who played for us, and he's now at Walsall. There was a game, Rangers against Hensford, obviously our local rivals, where Josh Gordon was on our right wing, and there's a guy called Cohen Bramall at left back for Hensford.
Heard of Cohen Bramall.
Obviously, he went from Hensford to you.
Yeah, to Arsenal. Yes, you're right.
He went viral because he did the what's it called, the Rabona.
Yeah, Rabona.
He did the Rabona cross, and Hensford scored from it. So those two played like directly against each other for Rangers and Hensford not that long ago. And then like I think Cohen Bramall's at Colchester now. Obviously they're in League Two as well. So him and Josh Gordon are now against each other at that level instead of 3 leagues lower where they were playing for us. I don't know really. I don't know who springs to mind. I mean, I will have seen loads of class players. Like there's probably loads of players in the Football League that
of course have gone on to make a career in the higher leagues. Of course, many managers came and gone at Rangers, and plenty of ups and downs. Is there a manager who's captured you the most? Who's like you remember the most?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I keep saying this, but obviously when I was younger, like when I was 10, 11, I didn't really appreciate everything that was going on. So when I've got older, like I appreciate managers and players more a bit. I think.
Absolutely.
So like the best manager Rangers have probably had while I've been watching Rangers would be Phil Robinson, who got us promoted into the conference. But in terms of like recent years when I've appreciated it a bit more, Neil Kitchen would definitely be the one that, because he came in, so obviously like I say we were in the conference, we were there for 2 years, we then came down to Conference North, we were there for 3 years, and then we were in the league we're in now for 3 years, and then we got relegated again, so we were down in Step 4, so we'd gone down 3 leagues in like less than 10 years.
Yeah, that's great.
Which was horrible, and I think the club was in like a dark place when we got relegated from Step 3 to Step 4. And like Kitch came in, he'd been at Rushall Olympic, who were a similar level to us, and he'd done well, he'd got them out of the league we were going into Step 3, and he just the club just changed so much under him. Like
you could instantly feel the impact he made.
Like the atmosphere he made, like he got the fans and the players proper connected, which we hadn't really felt like for years. And we didn't actually go straight up in his first year back into Step 3. We
still felt the positive feeling though, much more positive feeling around the club.
Like it was actually enjoyable to watch Rangers again, and there was, like I say, there was a proper connection between the fans and the players. And he was just class, and I was gutted when he left. Obviously he did end up getting us promoted to Step 3 in his second season. We won the league, and then we were mid-table in his 2 seasons in the level we're in now. And for whatever reason he left the club, and obviously we have gone downhill since then. We've struggled. We had I think 2 seasons since he's left. We've been like fighting relegation. I mean, the one season we just stayed up, and obviously the season that was just finished, got cancelled because of like
Yeah,
our
of
league
course,
got voided.
of course, got voided off.
We were 100% going down.
Yeah,
like, we were
that's it. I
we
mean,
were bottom and we were
kind
done.
of a lucky escape, really,
Yeah.
wasn't it? That they did end up staying. You know, the league has been voided.
100%. Like we were down. We were
Down
we were
and
shocking
out.
last season.
Yeah, rock bottom. So.
But yeah, Kitch was class.
Yeah.
When the last manager left, everyone was saying like get Kitch back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's managing like 2 leagues below us.
Yeah,
which
so,
is mad.
Which he shouldn't be. He did a good job.
Yeah,
Rangers, steady job with Rangers.
He could easily do a good job in our league, but
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely Kitch. I'll always remember his time well.
Yeah, unfortunately, got to touch on a couple of the lows. What would you say is the darkest day you've seen watching Rangers? And of course, probably a relegation day. But what would you say is the worst day when you just felt so disappointing and so heartbroken?
Yeah, to be fair, it actually wouldn't be the relegations. I mean, like obviously they are the worst things that have happened.
Yeah.
Like when last season was horrible. Just it was a weird one really because we actually played okay quite a lot of the time, but
Yeah.
we just couldn't win.
Lost by the odd goal.
Yeah, we weren't getting battered week in, week out. We were just
Yeah.
losing by 1 goal or 2 goals
Yeah.
every week.
It's a bad
But
habit to get into, but
we
yeah.
were losing.
Yeah.
And like I say, we were going down. So that's probably up there. But in terms of like one game or moment,
Yeah.
it would have been the first season when we were back in step 3.
Yeah.
So that what would it have been about 2012 maybe,
Yeah.
2013. We played Hensford, obviously our local rivals. who
Yeah.
We hadn't played for years, probably about 5 or 6 years, I'm not sure. And we were 3-0 up. This was away. We were
Yeah.
3-0 up just before half time. I think they scored just before half time to make it 3-1. Then, like obviously, it's a local rivalry. 3-0 up for half time.
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
It's buzzing,
going
isn't
mad.
it?
And then they scored just before half time. I think they scored again in like the 79th minute to make it 3-2.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
we're going to bottle this.
capitulation.
And then
by
we scored
Rangers.
again. We scored again to make it 4-2 in like the 81st is when it's like a couple of minutes
Yeah.
after their goal. And again, then you're thinking, oh, like,
Yeah,
surely
that's it now.
that's
Yeah,
done.
2 goals.
And then they scored like 87, 89, and then they scored a bicey in like the 93rd minute.
Oh, so they lost the game
beat us
5-4. So
And
that does certainly sound heartbreaking,
that was
to be honest.
that was probably the worst I've felt leaving a game.
Yeah. Nothing worse when you think the game's done and then
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that happens. 3 goals in the last 10 minutes conceded.
Yeah,
It's,
it was horrible.
Yeah,
but
one of them.
yeah, I mean the relegations were worse. Like
Yeah,
you
of
can get
course.
over 1 game,
But on the day,
on
the
the day I was
course.
just like I felt
and
sick.
relegation stick with you as well for a couple of
Yeah,
months because
yeah.
you know the new season doesn't start for 2 or 3 months. So
Yeah.
of course with Rangers as well. You're seeing all these. Of course, I mentioned about days that have stood out. Maybe like, what do you think is like a game that again you felt the happiest? Would you say? I don't know if I've already asked this question, but the game where you felt the happiest leaving and just been in a great mood for a while. Of course, promotion probably stands out. But
That is a good question. Yeah, probably the promotion back to step 3. Like it isn't the best thing I've seen happen while I've been a Rangers fan. Like obviously the promotion to the conference was class, but I didn't know at the time how big of a thing that was.
yeah.
Like I was
You
10,
didn't realise,
10, 11.
yeah.
I didn't,
When you look at where Rangers are now,
Yeah,
you realise a lot
exactly.
more, don't you? That wow, they once in the conference a few years ago.
Like if we got there now, that would
Yeah.
be like amazing.
Yeah,
But I didn't appreciate it at the time, so I wouldn't say that was the game I came away from feeling the best.
Yeah.
It was a big relief when we got back up to this league, because I think most Rangers fans would say like the lowest level you would see as even any kind of acceptable
Yeah.
for Rangers is the one we're in now.
yeah.
Like any lower than that, we just shouldn't be there.
Yeah, well, of course, would have gone down this season, as we've already mentioned as well,
exactly,
if it wasn't for the pandemic.
So when we got back into this league, that was good, and it was good as well, not because it was like on a knife edge, like we nearly didn't go up, because I think Shore Lane were, what were they? I can't remember how many points behind us, but we had to draw.
And then-
If they won, we had to draw to secure the title.
Yeah.
We were away at Colville, who were 3rd.
yeah,
So it was a
all
proper
up in the
hard
air then.
game.
It was all up in the air.
and they won, I think. Shore Lane won, So we had to draw at Colville, and we were winning from like the first half, and then they scored with about 20 minutes left, I think. So obviously it was like, oh my god, we are going to bottle this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you just feel it, like it's going to happen.
And obviously you see it all the time, don't you? If you're challenging for like the title or promotion, then you bottle it.
Yeah.
And then you tend to bottle the playoffs as well.
Yeah, because of course the heartbreak sets in still, and then you just that downheartedness gets the better of you.
And I think we would have lost the playoffs as well if we hadn't won the league. And they had a chance in like the last minute. Their keeper came up for a corner, Colville's did.
Yeah.
And he probably should have scored. Looking back on that chance, he should have scored.
Had a chance.
Keeper, yeah.
Wow.
Like they didn't even need to send the keeper up. Colville, because they were like cemented in third. It didn't matter to them.
Didn't matter.
But I mean, a few Rangers fans said at the time, like, why did they send him up? Like, but I was like, why not? Like, you might as well try and spoil the day for us.
Yeah, exactly. You still want to win the game, I guess, don't you? And that's probably what it was.
Yeah. And luckily he missed, and that was literally the last kick of the game. So that was like such a relief, and to be like, this level isn't where most Rangers fans want to be. I think most Rangers fans see our natural level at least one league above this.
Yeah.
But it was a relief, because this league is a lot better than the league below. Yeah. A lot better.
So the step up in quality is a lot more.
So it was a big relief when we got promotion back to this level.
Yeah, I was going to mention about the two games that were televised for Rangers. Of course, one I mentioned, Dagenham and Redbridge. I mean, because you watch these games live, but how did it feel knowing Stafford Rangers were actually on TV? Like, did you get, obviously being at the game, you might not have got that sort of feeling, but like, did you know the game was on TV? Like, obviously you knew, but like, how did it make you feel at all at the time?
Yeah, it was a bit mad, really. I think we had two games. Like I say, we had Dagenham I think that was the first year, and then we had Halifax Town in the second year. I don't know. I think there was a bit of hype around it from the fans, like knowing we
around
were
Stafford. Absolutely, I remember at the time it was quite big, first time in 50 years, I believe it was. So.
Yeah, and I think my dad was on the TV, and that was a thing. But yeah, I think I was ball boy for one of them. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was it would have been the first year actually.
Dagenham.
Yeah, the Dagenham game. And I can't remember how we got on. I think we
lost 2-1 in the end. 2-1 it was to Dagenham.
I think we lost.
Someone scored for us. It was one of the oldest from it, Grayson, one of the oldest strikers. And he scored a goal for us. And then the other game, I thought that was the only one televised until you said.
I could be wrong, but I think there was. I think we had a televised game the next year as well. Yeah, and I mean those would be the last times we were on TV.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
obviously a lot of non-league teams get on TV if you have a good FA Cup running.
Yeah,
but we've
never had one.
We've never.
I was going to touch on that. Have you seen a big team play Rangers, like a Premier League or a Championship team in a friendly or something play Rangers?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really been that lucky with friendlies in terms of getting teams to send their first teams down.
It's always been their second.
You get you get Stoke and Vale and that, but it's normally the second team.
Yeah, it's no one really of note.
Yeah, exactly. But there was one year where who was it? It was West Brom.
I remember West Brom.
Yeah,
2016. Yeah, Ricky Lambert was down, wasn't he?
There was Callum McManaman.
Yeah,
Pocognoli.
Yeah, a few of the first teamers were there, weren't they? Yeah.
And I remember that was funny actually, because that was one of them where you didn't really think they're going to send anyone, and they didn't, because I think normally they tell you ahead of time. They're like, we're going to send the first team, or we're going to send.
So I remember it not getting much hype because of that. Everyone was saying, no, they're not going to send any players, and on Sky it was advertised as West Brom 11, not West Bromwich Albion. So everyone thought, they're just going to send a weakened team, and it's starting to be no hype. But of course, then on the day they did send players, and it was like, well, actually.
So I remember me and my mate got there, and we looked at the striker, and we're like, oh, he's big. And then and I was like, that's Ricky Lambert.
You realised.
Didn't even notice. And then I was like, that's Callum McManaman. I don't know if I recognised Pocognoli, but like it all came out. I think there was a couple more. But I was like, oh, that's pretty mad.
Yeah, West Brom were a Premier League club at this point as well, and an established mid-table Premier League club.
Yeah, they were probably the biggest. And in terms of the biggest, like the highest ranked club I've seen us playing an actual game probably would have been Brighton in the FA Cup.
Yeah, like you said,
we were in the conference to step 5. I think they were in League 1 at the time.
Yeah.
They must have been below the Championship anyway, because it was in the second round.
Yeah.
So the Championship and Premier League clubs.
This recently, was it about 2012 sort of time, maybe a bit earlier than that?
Yeah, I think
10.
it would have been it would have been the second year we were in the conference. So yeah, I think it would have been pre 2010.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I say, they were at the With Dean, and I mean, looking back, it was a pretty dead game to get, really, because that ground was terrible for an atmosphere or anything. I mean, I think we took a decent number down. I think it was like 200 Rangers fans.
Yeah.
And it is obviously a trek to
Yes,
Brighton.
of course. I went past Brighton off one of my university open days, and it is a trek.
A long way, yeah.
Well, I mean, the new stadium was lovely, to be fair. But this ground, though, this one you mentioned, certainly wasn't the best ground, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, if we could get a team in the Amex, like, that would have been quality. And you look at the teams in like League 1 and 2 that you could get in theory now, like Sunderland and Bolton and Portsmouth, teams like that.
Yeah,
like,
old Premier League clubs, of course, established old Premier League clubs.
We didn't do well with Brighton, really. I think.
What was the score in the game?
I think we lost 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
But fair enough.
That's the furthest I've ever seen us get in the FA Cup, and I think that is the last time we got to the first round or further. I think we haven't been to even the 4th qualifying round since then. Honestly, our FA Cup record is
very bad. Yeah,
it's annoying because non-league clubs need that.
Yeah, that's right. Just one more question is going to be: what do you think the future holds for Stafford Rangers? Of course, not great last season. It's difficult to judge at the moment, but do you think better times could be ahead? I mean, football can change so quickly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And could better times be ahead for Rangers?
It's honestly, it's so hard to say with non-league, because I think with the Premier League, like obviously Arsenal fans are quite optimistic about the future.
Yeah, right now, cool.
Like you know more about all the teams that you're competing against.
You know more about the ins and outs, of course. Yeah.
Like with non-league, you don't really hear that much about stuff. Like, I don't really know how much our budget is, say, compared to the rest of the league. Like we literally could be top 10 or we could be bottom 5.
So there's no budget ideas. Like, you know who the richest club in the Premier League Championship is, but you don't. In the lower leagues, you don't really know. And the richest club there doesn't necessarily mean loads of money. It just means, in football terms, not much at all. So,
I mean, there's definitely teams in Rangers League that you know have money. Like South Shields, for example. They're not necessarily being bankrupt because they do get about 1,800 every week, which is obviously class for that level. And there is teams that you know have money, like I think Buxton have been spending money this year, and I mean I imagine FC United have got a bit of money, even though they haven't got like a benefactor funding them. They again get big crowds, so you would think they've got a bit of money. But yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, we've been at this level now or lower for a long time.
And that's not where, of course, Rangers fans want to be.
Like I say, I think most fans want us to be a level above at least. I think like if you look at the club and you look at the grounds in the league above and stuff, we would fit in with that league. Maybe be one of the smaller clubs in that league now. But yeah, it is really hard to predict the future.
Of course,
like if we get a benefactor come in tomorrow, it makes it much easier. I mean, I think we are making some positive steps off the pitch. But money plays a big part, and like I say, I don't really know our budget,
and of course,
so it's hard to predict.
The coronavirus pandemic just happened as well. Is that going to affect clubs' budgets
well?
as well?
I mean, I think, again, not knowing much about the club finance, I think Rangers have actually done all right out of it because the fans have raised a lot of money and stuff.
That's good. That's good to see. I mean, the clubs like that are going to need it, aren't they? More than the clubs at the top. They're going to need the money. And one more question about the Chris. Are you looking? I mean, games at the moment. Of course, I don't imagine Rangers will come back till fans are allowed back in. But how much are you missing it? Like, as in, going week in, week out.
So obviously, RC. Well, when did lockdown start? It was about end of March.
Middle to end of March.
So I think I watched the last Rangers game. I watched was against Gainsborough Trinity, and that was in the middle of March somewhere. It was the day before the Man City Arsenal game that got postponed because of coronavirus. Because I was meant to go to that game the day after at the Etihad, and obviously didn't get to go, which was annoying. But that was the last game I went to, and then I went on Tuesday to a friendly against Colville because they've like fans are now allowed into below
below a
step
certain
6.
yeah.
So obviously anything. So basically, the league above us can't have any fans yet, but our league and below can have fans.
Oh, okay.
But it's a certain number. So for friendlies, we're allowed 300, and then when the season starts again, it's 600 for the whole
good.
league.
That's good. Yeah.
Which is all right for Rangers because our average attendance is about 600, 500, 600.
That's good.
It's unfortunate for teams like South Shields and FC United because it's like third in their gate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've obviously missed it, but I can go again in theory now, and
so
I've got a season
okay,
ticket. The leagues, they've released fixtures this morning.
Okay.
So our first game is against Ashton United on the
When does the season start?
19th September.
19th September. Okay.
And that's against our new manager's former team. He was there last season, so
is that home
it's
or
a
away?
decent first game.
Is that
home, yeah.
Home, okay.
Home against Ashton.
Not
So
bad. Not
yeah,
bad.
definitely looking forward to it. I think it's 3 weeks tomorrow, isn't it, the 19th? So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's been weird.
Weird
I haven't
not-
really watched that much of the Premier League and stuff.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched
been weird
the-
behind closed doors,
Yeah.
really. I mean, you don't notice it a lot, but you do notice it at times as well
Yeah.
because when you score a last-minute goal, you don't get the feel of the
Yeah,
fans,
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's so hard without the fans for the players. I feel like to get motivated as well. So, yeah, it's hopefully sooner or later all fans are allowed back into the stadium.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right, anyway, that is all we've got time for. And yeah, thank you, Jack, for being a guest on my channel.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, I will see you all soon. I'll be back soon with more interviews. Thank you very much.